Okay. Okay. Apparently we are live. So hi everyone. I am the sarcastic sloth, and welcome to my live stream. Hello, AM Project, Young Project. How's it going? How are you today? How are you feeling on this lovely Monday? Oh, get myself bloody comfortable in this. Oh, is it working? I think it is. Hello, can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. Ground control to Major Tom. No? Okay. Oh, there we go. Hey, finally caught alive. Yeah, where have you been? Where the hell have you been? Hi from Kentucky. There we go. Well, how's everyone doing today? How are we feeling on this lovely Monday? This might be a little bit out of whack. I think this is sort of lags a bit more than it does on just regular YouTube. Angelica, yeah, we can. Beauty Heathen, it's like you wait for me to end stream or something. No, it's just midnight. Like if I wait any later, then I'll be fucking wrecked tomorrow. Kelly, hello everyone. It lives, Igor. It lives. Just a bit. Just about. Anyway, bloody hell. It's been a bit of a crazy weekend, but there we go. How is England handling things? I wouldn't know. I live in Wales, but I assume not too well. They don't handle many things well, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, obviously, no country likes it when it's pointed out that they do have inherently racist backgrounds, especially when they're as repressed as we are in the UK. But yeah, it's well, I mean, I imagine everyone's seen what's his face, bloody. I keep wanting to say Pierce Brosnan, but it's not. It's Pierce Morgan, isn't it? Pierce Morgan, who is just the ultimate shit on everyone's shoe. So here's the thing, right? So if I meet anyone, and it hasn't happened yet, but if I meet anyone and they did say they were a fan of Pierce Morgan, I would severely judge them and fucking stop talking to them immediately and tell them to get the fuck out of my space. Quite frankly, that's how much I feel about that guy. He's a piece of shit of the highest order. I don't know how you can go from um, everyone knowing that you were like planting bugs in people's phones and all the rest of it to try and get scoops on people as part of a newspaper. Then you can go from that to Britain's Got Talent, and then from that to America's Got Talent, and then from that to replacing Larry King, and then now he's just like here for the fucking racist idiots to clap their hands over in the morning because he tells it like it is. And it's like, no, he don't tell it like it is. He tells it how it's like for him and his ways. Yeah, that interview broke my heart. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting, but it's like I guess for us over here, I mean, it's always that like it's always been this weird thing, obviously that they've always been on Harry's case from day one, like from a very young age. Um, but obviously they were always on Meghan's case as well, and people always tried to say it wasn't because of any racial connotations. But if you have a look, I think I put a tweet out today where it's like the um, sort of Kate Middleton and then Meghan Markle. There was like the famous one of like the avocado with Kate Middleton. It's like, oh, it's a beautiful gift of an avocado, and then with her, it's like, oh, it's destroying the fucking planet if she has a fucking avocado every now and again. So it's just ridiculous, really. Like I said, I'm okay suffering from my back hernia. Ooh. But I'm okay. Yeah, well, yeah, just stay chilled, I guess, on that one. What do you call it? Hey, Shanoa, ouch. Pierce Morgan is a nonce. Yeah, he's disgusting. Damn Sloth, just tell us how you really feel. No, straight up. I don't get on with. Right, it's kind of weird, right? So I don't get on with posh people in general, and I would consider him pretty fucking posh, to be fair. and it always makes me laugh how like you have like the posh echelon, and then the working class who are how would you say, racist, I guess would be the only real way to say it, have like racist ways about them. How they both agree, but they fucking hate each other at the same time. But like one will stick up for the other, but the other one won't ever stick up for the other one. It's quite ironic when you think about it, and it's just like none of them can even. I don't know. It's just stupid, man. Like I said, we've got the class system over here, which again it sort of fucks everything up for us too. And then obviously you chuck race into the mix, and yeah, the UK is a. But I will say that there are different parts to the UK, and where I live, I'm not saying there isn't any racism because that would be foolish, and there is no utopia at the end of the day. But Wales isn't England, man. It's not the same thing. Um, I don't think I've ever seen you so strongly opinionated about someone. Oh, I do have them. It's just I don't, like I truly despise that person. He's disgusting on every facet that I can possibly think of. Like when someone's just like a bit of a dickhead, but like you can sort of go, well, I can see why they're the way they are, sort of thing. Um, but like him, he's just disgusting in every way, shape, or form. I could, if anyone tries to tell me that there's a redeeming quality to him, then I know they're fucking sus, like immediately. And they need to get the fuck out of my vicinity because I don't put up with that kind of shit in real life. That's the thing on Twitter. You got to watch what you say about literally everything. Like in real life, I just say it as I just say. You know what I mean? I'm known for it, really. Um, yeah, I saw that tweet. It's so backwards with her. Yeah, it's constantly backwards, and it's just absurd, really. It's just absurd. Um, as Megan said, that's some loaded toast. Yeah. It's tradition in Wales to hate the royals. Well, that's the other thing as well. You've got to think at the end of the day that like Wales is its own country, but we don't get to run ourselves. They've given us an assembly, but it's not the same thing as having like your own parliament or senate or whatever the equivalent would be in your own country. Um, we've been given enough crumbs to sort of um, keep enough people at bay. But at one point, like we were burning fucking English people's holiday homes over here, so that's how strongly the Wales feels about England in general. And whenever it's like rugby, I never watch rugby. I only watch it to see England lose. That's all I ever want to see. Um, and I don't watch any of the rest of it. Fuck the rest of it. But yeah, basically, follow your lead and dump their tea in the harbour. I don't think they've given us any of their tea. I don't know if you could fucking grow it over here, really. But yeah, it's weird. I mean, that's getting into something else entirely, completely differently. But um, yeah, I think with us as well, it's sort of that thing of there's like a nervous thing where they've because at one point they were trying to like get rid of the language and everything. It's just it's an insidious thing. This is the thing. Like they do it abroad. If they do it here, like here to people who look exactly like them, what do you think they do to fucking people abroad? Do you know what I mean? In different countries, it's absurd, really. But yeah, there we go. Um, Wales deserves it deserves independence and to kick England's bum. Yes, that's a very polite way of putting it. There's some people I used to live with a really militant guy who like he'd get really crazy about that kind of thing. Because I mean, you think about, I mean, I was born in England, but I've been here since I was 8 or 9, I think it is. So I have no affinity for England. So when I go over there, it's sort of like a fucking totally foreign place to me. And all you hear is, "Oh, you're a fucking sheep shagger" and all of this kind of stuff because there's so many sheep over in Wales, and that's the only joke they have. So yeah, it's yeah, I'll just say that people like over the seas aren't the only people who hate the fucking English. you know, I think a lot of the time people just pay lip service to them. Let's have a look here. Hi, Sloth. Hi, everyone. Hey, Natasha, how's it going? How are you today? Beauty Heathen. Wales does. Scotland does. Northern Ireland needs to join the damn Republic. Um, Republic of what? Oh, I see what you mean now. Yeah. Well, it's Northern Ireland. Yeah. But yeah, I see what you mean. Um, hey, Natasha. Hey, Natasha. Everyone's saying hello to Natasha. Hey, Smudgy. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Destroy the monarchy. Do you know what? Right, I knew as I'm like the only, um, I think Brit who, like who's definitely streaming tonight. I knew this was basically going to be my chat. So yeah, I expected this in full. Destroy the monarchy. I lived in the heart of Ceredigion. They resent the fact that Charles owns land there. Yeah, well, if you speak to anyone in Wales, they, you know, it's funny, right? Because whenever I used to work this job where you'd call people up and ask them to do surveys over the phone, and for some reason I was doing a survey about, it was like because over here we have um, signposts in like Welsh and English, and every person who kicked off, because like it's a big touchy subject to some people, but every person I spoke to who was touchy about it, we're here from England. So, it's one of those things where I'd be like, well, at the end of the day, it literally doesn't even affect you at all. You can't read it. Oh, yeah, but it's my taxpayers' money. Well, it's all done now. We're not like constantly making fucking road signs. Once the road signs are done, they're done, aren't they? So shut the fuck up and just don't look at them if you don't want to look at them at the end of the day. Um, let's have a look. Angelica, I thought you were in England all this time. No, I'm in Wales, which is it is different. it's it's sort of the bump at the bottom. That isn't near France. It's the one near Ireland, if you look at it that way. Um, Natasha, yeah, I know. I blame Bruce and his needs to adult. um, we are Irish. Oh no, we the Irish are also not fond of the English either. No, of course not. It's all the Celts don't like the English. That's the thing about it. It's the funniest thing. The history's there. If anyone wants to kick off about it, the history's there. Just open a fucking book, innit? Why do you guys hate us so much? All right, mate. All right, whatever, dude. Um, yes, it's all Bruce's fault for sure. I have a small amount of Irish heritage, blood-wise, but what I have is strong as hell. Because I fucking hate the British government and Ireland is my home. Yeah, well, it's yeah, it's. I'm trying to think. I mean, like I have an affinity for Newcastle, but you've got to understand as well, sort of like the north of England and the south of England are totally different again, because the south of England sort of left the north of England like for waste in like the fucking days of you know Margaret Thatcher. So even they don't even like each other. Like no one fucking likes each other on this series of islands. So the fact that it's called the United Kingdom is actually pretty fucking hilarious to me most of the time, if I'm being honest. Um, London, I can stand for 3 days on the trot, and then any longer than that, it does my fucking head in. Um, Bristol's cool, but it's literally just on the other side of the channel, so it's and Cornwall, actually, Cornwall's all right. But then they want to be their own thing. They don't want to be counted as part of England per se. They wanted to be their own thing anyway. So yeah, it should be like the divided kingdom. That's what it should be, really. Oh, hey Lily, how's it going? How are you today? How's your art projects coming along? Because you were saying that you had to get quite a few of those done when I spoke to you the other day. Um, AM to Beauty Heathen. Well, technically, I'm connected to the Tudors, so let's rob the British throne. Okay. Um, don't forget to like the live. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, let's do it. Green box. Oh, it's this guy again. Yeah, every Monday without fail. Green box. Thanks for showing up again. Don't get me started. We ride at dawn. What are we talking about? I'm a bit confused. Well, I imagine that you've probably heard about the what do you call it? The interview with Harry and Meghan, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. and Oprah. So that's pretty much the basis. And because I'm the only Brit who did a stream today, I'm getting grilled, which I don't care about at all. Green box. So, oh well. So how did the stream test turn out? Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, everything went fine. I was just like fucking about with the buttons, really, to be honest with you. So yeah, it worked all right. All right. I only did 20 minutes, so it weren't nothing to write home about. We're hating on England, yep, because it sucks. Can I hate on England too as European potato? As a European, I would assume that you do anyway. That's the thing, you know. We all know what happens at the European Song Contest, mate. Nil point. Because everyone hates the English government. Yep, yep. Um, London reminds me of a backwards Boston, and New York City, yeah, pretty much, you know, with a lot more cockneys. That's basically how I look at it. There's one thing that I do sort of enjoy. I like the Natural History Museum. That's cool. And then, of course, there was the ship that my granddad served on in World War II, the HMS Belfast. So, yeah, I go on that because it's sort of, you know, he ain't around anymore. Let me put it that way. So it's sort of like a little bit of resonance there. Lily V, trying to finish them. It's so tiring. With the thing is, right? If you're not subscribed to Lily V art, go subscribe to her now. Her art is ridiculous, and her streams are fucking hilarious too. So you should check them out. And she always has like pretty chill music in the background too. Um, Imagine if you just started doing like banging tech like Gabba in the background now. No, don't do that, Lily. Don't do that. Beauty Heathen definitely is like Natasha for good historical reason. I didn't know there was all this hate towards England. Of course, the fucking world hates us, man. We owned like most of it at one point, you know, just through conquest alone. So yeah, it's I say we, but you know, I guess we're attached to them, so fuck them. Also, I'm connected to the Jacobian line to my mum's family. So where the fuck is my crown? I'm gonna just say something right now, guys. It's a pet peeve of mine, and I see it all the time on YouTube, and I see it all the time on Twitter. And people who know me probably know this already. I really fucking hate it when people call each other king or queen. I get why they do, because it's like a thing of reverence, but maybe it's because I live here and I know how utterly useless kings and queens actually are, or the fact that in the past it's always just down to the fact that it's like cutthroat ruthlessness that these people are in power in the first place, and sort of racist aristocracy that sort of brings it about. So I've never seen the want or the need to call anyone or be called a king or a queen. So whenever I see it, I cringe so fucking hard. And I just think, God, man, if you actually knew what it was, what you're calling each other there, I don't think you'd be so close to fucking calling each other that. And if people are like, well, maybe it's just the British, any royalty ever, they didn't get there because they were nice to people and shared all their shit. Just, that's a naive thought. I just thought most European didn't like France. No, Europe like pretty much hates on. Whenever I go anywhere, like people, even when I went to Australia, like people were weird with me when they thought I was from England, but then I said I was from Wales, and everyone just chilled out at me straight away. Beauty Heathen, oh, thank you, Shanoa. Welcome to the family. Stalk away. That's true. AM, oh, we don't like France either. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to condone like let's just hate on all the countries right now, to be honest, because as the Brit, that can sort of be seen as pretty weird, to be honest. But you guys talk about whatever you want, I guess. Okay, let's have a look. About oh, thanks, Staff. Well, I'm Italian American, so that means I got to not like them double. Oh, I've got to not like them double now. Okay, then. Smudged, they're all also very informative. What? I must have missed something there. I don't know. This is moving really fast. I didn't expect this to be as fast as it was. Yes, even the Scots and the Irish didn't get on and compete quite a lot. I'm still rooting for Scotland to gain independence. Yeah, well, I think everyone's just so bloody afraid of actually separating from England. I don't know at what point that would even happen, to be honest with you. It would be nice. It would be nice. Obviously, I'm going to root for the place that I live in first. But yeah, it'd be nice if everyone could at the end of the day. I'm half German by blood and full German by nationality. Germany and France have been enemies forever. Okay. Oh yeah, of course they have. Yeah. No, I was just thinking then. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Um, Beauty Heathen. Nope, they didn't. Natasha, yeah, Italy doesn't like France either. Well, we know what you think about the French, Natasha. Bloody hell, especially during the World Cup. But of course, there's other reasons. Yeah, Greece exiled. Our royal family. Yeah, yeah, we did. Napoleon is the reason. Yeah, well, Napoleon is a reason for a lot of hate directed towards them. To be fair, we don't hate England in Latin America yet. Well, give us time, I guess. um, so did we, Lily, get highly recommend that? So did we. Can highly recommend that. Does anyone hate Canada? No. I only found out about some sketchiness with Canada within the last year with Black Lives Matter. To be honest with you, I will say Canada's public relations has been pretty all right up until recent times. Yeah. How they're seen within Canada and like just across the border from there is I couldn't tell you, but yeah, I think we all were under the impression that everyone was just polite and loved maple syrup and chilled with mooses. To be fair, Ali, I hate telling Europeans I'm from Kentucky because they always mention KFC. My mom is the bona fide KFC. Oh dear. See, I mean, now that you've said it, I'm gonna think it. So, but I'll believe you that your mum's is the one. I hate Ottawa, but Toronto is cool. Are we just talking about places that we hate? Have we turned into a hate stream? Because I do not condone hating, but people are going to talk about whatever they want at the end of the day. Okay, so Lily, I'm sorry, Ali. Ziley, hello, how's it going? How are you? Natasha, oh God, Napoleon. I'm from Sardinia, so Corsica is like right above my island. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. 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 You can't hate Canada when there is a US next to it. I never said hate. I think you're putting words in my mouth, bro. But yeah. I'm just saying that it's not as squeaky clean as I once thought. Shanoa, yay, no one hates me yet. I love maple syrup. Yeah, it's banging. It's awesome. Emmeline, I'm Colombian, so I'm a mix of European, African, and Native American, but I reside in Dublin now. Grew up in New York City, and lived in Madrid for a few years. Oh, that's very cultured. Although throughout the history of Colombia, during the War of Independence, the English tried to make us financially dependent on them by them, trying to. Oh, are you saying on them trying to establish a treasury? Oh, okay, okay. Um, yeah, everyone's still hating on the English. Hate stream, hate stream, hate stream. No, no. Well, oh Jesus. Do you know what I predicted? I was going to do one thing, but I was like, listen, you know, and I just knew this is what it was going to be. So let us know what you think in terms of the Harry and Meghan interview, because obviously I'm sure everyone's got strong opinions on it. They could be matching. I suspect probably if you're part of the stream, more than likely that would be the case. But yeah, it's I think it's just been a pretty a bit of a crazy day, and I would imagine if I ever watched any or read any of those arsewipes that we call British tabloids, um, I would probably be up to spec with that somewhat. But yeah, I literally don't partake in any of that shit because I know exactly what comes out of it. Um, Emmeline, I remember learning about that in school. Yeah, well, there's another thing. As Brits, we sort of don't have like what we learn in school in terms of history. Obviously, I think when you're very young, you sort of learn about stuff like, you know, like Tudors and Stuarts and things of that nature, just sort of times of monarchy. And then later, it was all sort of centered around the last century, really. So it's we do have like a very narrow curriculum based um, history. Yeah, it's just a very narrow scope for what we actually learn in history. Apart from recently, I think like in schools they've started doing like the American Civil Rights Movement, which obviously is great. Um, but yeah, it's I think I think a lot of places in the world will probably benefit from a lot more of a world-centered curriculum when it comes to history and the learning thereof. Um, but yeah, obviously things are the way they are at the moment. Why do you hate Stream AM? No, she doesn't hate the stream. She's saying it is a hate stream because everyone's like just shitting on each other in England. So, um, Lily, I love it. Xylee, my message got deleted. What the fuck did you say to me then? What were you saying? Um, Tabloids have that much power because people tend to believe anything. Absolutely, it's like I said. The sooner you realize when you grow up, or as you're growing up, you shouldn't have to wait until you grow up to realize this. Really, it didn't take me long at all. Realize that so much of it is just actual shit, like fecal matter coming out of like these journalists' mouths or like keyboards or whatever, however they're inputting it. Um, just the lot better off you'll be, quite frankly. Um, Shanoa, YouTube has been a dick with deleting comments today. Oh, really? Okay, I had no idea. Yeah, I just said hi, Sloth, over and over. Oh, right. Well, that's obvious trolling on your part. Then it's absurd. It's rather absurd, I say. um, but yeah, apart from saying hi, how are you doing, Ziley? How's everything going in your world there? I think though with the tabloids, I mean, obviously, the reason why it's the talk of the moment, of course, is because of what's just happened. But I think that's the case really anywhere you go. I can't really think of many places where I mean, like I've said before, it's not for lack of wanting one, but I've said the the utopia does not exist. Like, point out a utopia to me, and I will be baffled. But I don't think it exists, and I don't think it can the way we are at the moment, at least, because there's just so much random hatred over things that are just ridiculous in my mind. But yeah, maybe that's a different debate for a different day. AM. Also, don't forget that Rupert Murdoch literally owns more than half of the British press, and he's a racist twat. Exactly. This is not news. Ironically, this discussion about the news is not news. I think like most people know that. That's the thing. It's just like it's almost like a habit. Oh, I gotta get my newspaper and I'm reading. I've mates where they come and they tell me something from the papers, and I was like, but that's not true, right? That's just like absolute shit that you just read and you just took it in and you didn't question it under any stretch of the imagination. It's like, well, so and so wrote about it, and it's like, well, who made him the fucking expert? He's just the person who wrote about it, man. At the end of the day, you don't know what agenda he's got. It's absurd, but what do you believe in media these days? Xylee, very good, sir. Very good. Absolutely. So I'm basically Utopia only exists for space dust. Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing. It's not for lack of wanting it. If I could snap my fingers and we all lived in a perfect world where we all got along and there wasn't any kind of craziness and whatever, I'd love that. And everyone respected each other's differences, and it wasn't like an issue to have like a difference of an opinion from other people. Um, but people confuse that. People like think like a difference of opinion is just like them being a racist piece of shit, basically. And it's like it's not, man. Like when you hate someone for like things they like literally cannot change about them, that says far more about you than it will ever say about the people that you hate. Um, and it's funny almost how most Brits forgot about the whole wiretapping scandal that happened not long ago. Well, yeah, I mean, Pierce Brosnan, I always keep trying to say that for some reason. Pierce Morgan is was at the head of that. That's why he fucking got fired, you know, unless we're talking about another occasion. But if that's the case, then we'll just accept that wiretapping is a constant thing if that's the case. But I'm pretty sure he was the one at the forefront. Then he fucked off and did Britain's Got Talent. Then we managed to fuck him off to America for a bit. And we were like, phew, at least we don't have to see that twat again. And then you sent him back. I was like, what? Come on. I thought we were cool, man. Obviously not, but you know, those who don't watch the news are uninformed, and those who watch the news are misinformed. This is it. It's like, you know, half the time, it's like with anything. I mean, you could equate it to, you know, what happens in the, you know, YouTube, I guess, in general, or any of the little communities. There's like, there's the story. Each party has like a version of the story, and you can only really get to the truth somewhat by what comes together, if you know what I mean. What dots you can actually connect, and then everything around that is sort of like aspersion and opinion. It's so yeah. If you're just going to read the Daily Mail and believe it like straight off the bat, then well, fucking fool you. I'm afraid, man. Like, you know, I used to sit next to this guy that I worked with, and he wasn't a smart guy. He wasn't a horrible guy. He just regurgitated shit very easily. And then I'd have to sit with him and just be like, you do realize what craziness that is that you're saying right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, well, no, I guess you're right. Well, what about this guy over here? It's like, bro, really, bro. You know, it's absurd. But yeah, so some people are hateful, but some people are like easily impressionable, and some people are just I don't know, fucking lazy, I guess, as well. It must be another part of it. If they taught critical thinking in schools, I, I I'd like to think that maybe we'd be a little bit better off a lot of the time, but oh well. Adele, hi everyone. Mr. M, don't mind me, just came here to like stream and say hi. Hello, Mr. M, how are you doing? Hi, Adele. How are you doing today? How's everything treating you on this Monday after the weekend? I am way late to the party. It's only half an hour. It's fine. Angelica, there are a lot of people who won't even read the article, but will only pay attention to the misleading title instead and believe whatever is said there. Well, that's the other point of it, isn't it? I mean, I mean, you can see that in real time on YouTube. Like, people just like read a title, will fucking jump into your comments and have this huge argument that literally makes no sense, because if they watched the video, they'd realize that everything that they were saying was total bollocks. But people love headlines, especially stupid people. I'll just say it. I'll just fucking say it. Tanisha just dropped in to say hi and show support. Hey, Tanisha, how's it going? How are you today? How is your weekend? How is the Monday? Adele, hi, Shanoa. Hi, guys. Derp, hello, me and you. Hello, Derp. Every time I see Derp, I don't know why, but I laugh. It's nothing personal, Derp, but it's just, I think it's the name. Smudge, hey, Adele. I was damn lucky that our high school class teacher taught us critical thinking and debating. Well, yeah, I think it's essential. There's so many essential things that you don't get taught in school, really, if you think about it. They say that they're preparing you for school, and you know, if you're over here, they make you wear a fucking uniform saying this will prepare you for the real world. And then when you get out into the real world, you realize half of this is just shit that I'll never use again. Just tangibly shit, apart from maybe just getting me onto higher education. But in terms of real world application, a lot of this is bollocks, like, if we're just being fucking honest. But I'm biased. I fucking hated school. So Adele, hi Smudge, Tanisha. I'm feeling like I got hit by a semi truck, honestly. Mondays suck. Yes, Mondays, yeah, they do suck. That's why I try and do these streams on a Monday because I know everyone's fucking going through it a bit. And hopefully we can just, like, I don't know, have a. Well, today I'm being grilled on like the monarchy and stuff, but I don't and England and why England's so shit, even though I'm not from there, but whatever. Um, but yeah, it's you know, I expected it, to be frank, knowing that obviously what happened with Harry and Meghan and Oprah, and yeah, me being one of the only Brits in the community, certainly I think the only one doing a stream tonight. So yeah, um, Xylee laughed my fucking ass off. Hey Adele, Mondays don't deserve any respect. No, they do not. Adele, hey Xylee, Adele, what was your take on the interview? I mean, I think I mean, if I had to like sort of sit down and say what my sorry, I just caught then Teddy with a gun. What? Near your sloth plushies? No, I don't think so. I'm freaking out now, man. What was the question? What was my take on the interview? Yeah, I for one believe him. Like I've seen nothing to prove the contrary, you know, with like the British tabloids and also the fact that Harry has always had a contentious relationship with the media from day one. Of how could he not? Like fucking paparazzi were basically one that running his mum off the road is the reason why he doesn't have a fucking mum anymore. At the end of the day, so that was always going to be the case. And also, he's the second child. The first one is always going to be seen as the the heir to the throne, really. So it was always going to be on his own little island with things. And then, of course, it all got sort of, you got to understand, like, I've read the tabloids with them picking at him for fucking years. So to pretend like all of a sudden Megan comes along and then what, we're just like, now, like Harry's been, getting all of this shit for a change. There's like clips on Twitter, if you have a look, I think I might have posted one where it's just like a montage of him just saying how much he basically fucking despises them because they all talk shit, tell lies, and are inherently racist. So in their views, and they appeal to bigoted people. So yeah. Smudge, supper time, homemade pizza, nice, nice. Be back later. Catch you in a bit. Enjoy the pizza. Um, Sorry, it just looks like it from here. Yeah. I don't know where exactly you're referring to, but yeah, Angelica, haha, he's referring to the black plushie on the floor, I think. Like here where I'm pointing, is that what? Because that's a medicine ball. um, yeah. Um, I'm confused by that. Dip, you always fucking confuse me when you come in here. I don't know if that's um by design or whatever, but you manage to do it every time. You keep me on my toes, at least. I'll say that, Dip. Angelica, haha, he's oh yeah, I read that already. AM, also, why exactly was Archie denied a title? 2 + 2 = 4 on that one. AM, I think you know the answer there, really. Um, as I think we all do, really. To be fair, do I believe in the monarchy? Well, I mean, they exist. It's not like ghosts. So yeah, I do believe that. I believe that they're there. But I realise I'm being cantankerous there. No, no, I don't. Like if you told if I woke up tomorrow and they were like they're no longer around, it wouldn't make a blind bit of difference to me. I live in Wales. We've got no real major love for them. It's to be honest with you, it's sort of the kind of people who voted for Brexit who are into them, and like I'd sort of say older people who like that sort of always been something that they've grown up with somewhat. You know what I mean? Like their mum before them had like the Queen's head on like the good china, and then they would never use it because heaven forbid you get a scratch on it, sort of shit. You know what I mean? So um, I've had points when I think what the fuck was his name? I don't know. At one point with my old job, some royals were coming to like come along, and I think it was to do with the RNLI, so the lifeboat institute, the Royal. I can't remember what it is, but basically, they came along to check out a lifeboat center over where I live, and where I work is like was a pier, and at the very end of the pier was the lifeboat launch center, and my boss, knowing that I don't give a fuck about them at all, was like, "Oh, are you gonna stick around? Like, make the place look spick and span beforehand, but are you gonna?" Because I was like the groundskeeper and handyman. Are you going to stick around? I said, why? That just sounds like a really shit zoo to me, to be honest with you. Like, I'm just going to go up at someone and then hope that they shake my hand. It's just sounds ridiculous to me, quite frankly. They're good for getting tourists money because like loads of tourists come along to stand outside of the out of the what do you call it, the palace. But if you took them out of the palace and still had all of the guards and all of that kind of shit, people would come over here anyway because they just want the photo opportunity. It's not like you get to have your photo taken next to the Queen or anything like that. And no, there's some people who think that for some reason we all meet her. I've actually had that asked to me by some people before. I believe Harry and Meghan, it is an archaic institution. Of course it is. And you've got to look at, like, if you look at the long line of monarchy in any country, it's all built on backstabbing and it's about backstabbing and annihilating your enemy so that you can take the place. Basically, it's and conquest of land that isn't yours. Of course, it's always been that way. But at the end of the day, it's. I know everyone's like sort of getting worked up and thinking like this interview is going to take it down. I personally don't think it will, because you know there's been many times in history where they've sort of tried to, where we thought we could just survive with Parliament and that's it, and then we went to get, I think it was Charles II who was residing in France at the time, so we went and got him because we obviously killed Charles I, and yeah, went to get Charles II. Was it Charles II? I think it was Charles II, and because they felt that they needed a ruler, and you got to remember as well, these are people who believe in like the divine right of kings and all of that kind of shit. So anyone who feels that they're better than another person just because they happen to be born from a certain family or in a certain place, it's not to be trusted in my view. It's that's the way I've always felt about it. When I was younger, I used to find it interesting, but up until the point where I was like, oh, these are just basically thieves and murderers, but they've got posh ways about them. um, Andrew, Prince Andrew should talk to authorities regarding Epstein. Yeah, that's another kettle of fish entirely, isn't it? I hope the monarchy dissolves. Well, yeah, I think I just ran through that then, but I don't think it was um, what do you call it? What was I going to say? My words just completely left my fucking head then. Yeah, I just don't think it's going. I don't think it would happen. Really, it's too entrenched in an institution. I honestly think that when Her Majesty is gone, the changes will come. I mean, changes, yes, but I don't think there would be like eradication of it. I don't think. Because we obviously killed Charles. Well, I mean, look at the history. Like, am I thinking of James the First? No, it was Charles the First. Yeah, or was it Charles the Second? I'm getting confused now. There's so many fucking people with the same names in this, like these royal lineages. Prince Andrew needs to be locked up. Yeah, he's foul. He's just disgusting. And that's the thing. Do you really think it's just like one of them doing that? Really? Like, I just I don't believe it. The royals aren't even actual British royals; they're German. Well, that's common knowledge. Yeah, anointed you, God, O Lord. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's you know, is anyone particularly better because they have like a sword put on either shoulder and then they get told to rise as something else? You know what I mean? Um, should be reason enough to get rid of them. Yeah, but I mean, if that were the case, that like I said, there's plenty like throughout history, there's been plenty of times where they have been gotten rid of, but they always worm their way back. Um, it's just I don't know if it's like there's like a weakness where we feel that we have to have them at the forefront because for some reason, personally, I couldn't give a fuck if they were around or not because it makes no difference in my world if the Queen's around to do her fucking Christmas speech and say, well, this last year was a really hard year for all of us. But hopefully the next year will be better. And there's people who've done some good things and there's people who've done bad things. But again, hopefully next year will be better. Every fucking year, just so like worded differently. And like people watch that, like, oh my god, can you the strength that it gives you? And it's like, Jesus Christ. If you need strength from that, then fuck knows what what else you need strength for, to be honest. Have you seen the apology video spoofs? Yeah, it's amazing. It's uh it's fantastic. I love the yeah, what was it? The time to tell the truth or something like that. I don't know. I've seen a few of them now, and wouldn't it be amazing if that's how it actually like all worked out? If it was all just like YouTube. Sometimes you think with all the backstabbing and fucking tomfoolery, it is actually quite a lot like YouTube and Twitter, I dare say. Um, AM Young Project, it's Magic Blood Sloth, Magic Blood. Yeah, of course, it's Magic Blood that they can just sort of go anywhere to get. It's not like it's even one particular lineage. It's I don't know. I mean, back in the day, if you wanted the throne, you could just go and fucking kill them and take it for yourself if you were of like another royal house or like a noble house or whatever you call it. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. The fact that like the line can't be broken, it's been broken many times over, many times over. I feel like the royal aspect is ingrained in the culture, perhaps to do with tourism. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Boom. Movie making, that's sort of more of a recent thing, I think. Museums, yeah, I can see that. Well, of course, I mean the Tower of London, which actually, it's you're going to look at it because you can't just like with a history of a country, you can't just like get rid of it all. So yeah, like you say, I would be more than happy to just learn about this archaic thing that we once had called the royal family and like the royal line and all of this kind of stuff and all of the mad shit they believed in by just going to see it in a museum. I don't need to hear about it constantly from fucking I don't know. Like I say, it's like it doesn't even people just don't even tend to get that excited about it until it's even brought up. Do you know what I mean? I think in some places they think that we actually like get really crazy about like the British national anthem and all the rest of it. But I know the Welsh do, but they've got reason to. It's England kept trying to get rid of their fucking language. It's kind of its own money making machine. Well, that's it. If you look at it like in everything that you just said, everything that you just encompassed there, Emmeline. Tell me how to pronounce that. I don't want to keep pronouncing your name wrong, by the way. Um, yeah, it's a business. It's a business at the end of the day. It's something that it makes money. People come all the way from like Japan and fucking America and all sorts of different places. But I mean, I say those because those are like the predominant tourists that you tend to see when you're around these areas in London, as well as within the UK itself. Um, just come along to stare at buildings, basically, or get their photos taken next to the Royal Guard and all of that kind of thing. It's yeah, it's kind of mad. Adele, it's breaking my silence. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, Emmeline. a few years, I found out that the tourism the Royals bring in isn't even economically worth it. Mm, I'd have to see the figures on that, but I think they bring in a pretty fucking penny, to be fair. But I don't know actually when you offset it against what their actual costs are. Yeah, I'd actually have to look into that for myself, to be fair. Um, but again, it's like I, if it were just the case that these places became museums, like this is what was, then you'd still get people coming. It's just at no point do you think where you're like when you book a ticket to come over here to look at all that shit that you're just gonna see the Queen knocking around the fucking grounds. Do you know what I mean? It's like so it would still be the same. Um, Beautiful name, Emmeline. Um, I only love London for the shopping, but it's getting better stateside. Yeah, well, it's quite mad in London for shopping. Actually, there's like three H&Ms on one street. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It definitely has its like own style. I think that people sort of get into compared to the rest of the UK. Um, the thing with London that I find like annoying is how crazily rude people are there. Like crazily rude. And the first time I went there, I used to go there for work. So I used to work on Baker Street, which if you know what that name rings a bell. That's the famous street that in the books Sherlock Holmes lived on. So it's a very famous street in that sense. So I used to work on Baker Street, and I would get put up in a hotel, and I'd have to commute back and forth, and I felt like Frodo from the Shire. Like I felt like because I was like holding doors open for people, like letting people on before me on the tube and shit. And then before I knew it, I'm like, hey, I'm 20 fucking people deep, like going past me. Like no one's like offered to let me go in at all. They think I'm like a bellboy all of a sudden. And then you go asking people like, hey man, because I used to smoke. Oh, can I pinch your lighter for a second whilst I light a cigarette? Which is a completely regular thing to ask people where I'm from. And I remember this dude told me to get the fuck away from him, otherwise he was going to stab me in the neck with a knife. And I said, "You wonder why the rest of the country think you're a pack of see you next Tuesdays, let's say." So yeah, it's I just get really sort of discouraged. That's why I have like a bit of a 3-day rule with it. Or I just go to the Natural History Museum and look at the dinosaurs. I like that. Let's have a look. Baker Street. Emmeline. Okay, Emmeline. Got it. It's an old name from the Normans, but you can say it the other way too. Makes no difference. Well, I mean, you've told me how to say it, so I'll try and say it that way. Emmeline. Baker Street. Baker Street is a bit much. I don't know what you mean. It's mostly offices, and I think there's like a Pizza Hut and shit like that on there now. So, yay Sherlock Holmes. I recognise that street name. Also, Londoners are so ego. Yeah, quite short as well. That was another thing I noticed. That's might just be me being a bit nitpicky, but whatever. Sorry, was busy chasing survivors and lost everything. That was being said, and it's the first thing I heard. That's okay. Egotistical. Well, yeah, it's like I think they have a bit of a like it's the hub of the UK in their minds. So and people do move there. It's sort of a bit akin to sort of like your New York or your um, your LA, I guess, where you get people who move there to sort of partake in show business and all the rest of it and whatever else high powered executive jobs. I mean, you've got people who live here, um, where I live, and travel, and I'm at the end of the fucking train line, okay, and travel all the way to London, and will stay there, or sometimes they do the commute daily, and that's like at least like 3 hours or some mad shit like that. So you have a thing about people's heights. It's just something I notice when I go places. Like I think I said to you the other day when I was in I can't remember where it was specifically in France because I'm awful with that kind of shit. But I was like, man, everyone's really short here, man. Maybe it's because I used to be short all the way through high school. I was like 5'4" to 5'6", and then when I turned 17, I went to 6'1". So maybe that's what it is. I used to get ripped the shit into for it too. So yeah. In fact, like on the last day of school, we all do this thing where everyone signs each other's shirts, uniforms, and mine was half of it was just short person jokes. Hope you grow someday, short ass. Like even my teacher, my maths teacher, put some mad shit on there too. So yeah, I probably noticed it quite a lot because it's something that was brought up to me so much when I was young. Um, and then when I was 17, I went to college. I just saw him boom, and all of a sudden it was like, I've got no one's fucking face to rub this into anymore because there was no way I was sticking around in that fucking school. But that was for a lot of different reasons, really. Again, it's posh people do my head in. They weren't even properly posh, but whatever. Some people have egos for no apparent reasons. Some people have egos just for the amount of money that their parents have. That's the funniest thing about it. I love that. That just like makes no sense to me whatsoever. But fuck it, man. You'll see when you go into the real world that means fuck all most of the time, at least. But yeah, how is everyone doing? I mean, what time is it now? Oh, it's nearly an hour. Shit. God, when I get talking, I just keep going and going, don't I? But yeah, so has anyone else got anything else they want to ask me about why England are so hated? Or anything else? Posh people are the worst. Yeah, it's just something that I've always had that sort of sentiment. I never really. The funny thing is, right? People might think that I've got because I've got a weird accent. Okay, so it yeah, it's sort of a mixture of Welsh and English. So sort of like Englishy with Welsh twangs, I would say. Um, and so I've never been Welsh enough for the like I've never spoken Welsh enough for the Welsh, and I've never spoken English enough for the English. If I go over to England, they know I'm from Wales straight away. If I'm in Wales, they think I'm from England straight away, even though I've lived there since I was like 8 or 9. So yeah, there's plenty of weirdness just within the country. So it's like our Carla said, if you think about what we do to ourselves, just what we do to everyone else makes perfect sense, or have done even. Oh no, still do really. Let's be fair. People are proud of the weirdest reasons. Exactly, it's. I mean, even if I were to, taking back to what Smudge was saying, about like, oh, I've got the thing about height. I guess I'm sort of weirdly proud of being tall. I've got no bearing on that. I didn't fucking cram and do a load of revision to get tall or anything. I didn't eat the right foods or anything like that. It just fucking happened. But it's people just they latch onto little things that make them proud, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when it's like someone else's money, or like you're proud of the fact that you just happen to be born in this country, you could have been born anywhere, and with any kind of background whatsoever, and you're like, I want to keep this for this certain type of people, and it's like, man, you don't even get the concept of fucking luck at that point, do you? You have such a soothing voice. I'm just doing my skincare routine. Okay, hello. No, I think I've got a bit. Probably something has to do with it. From like when I don't anymore, but I was smoking weed for 15 years. Probably had something to do with it. Maybe I was like really on edge before. I'd visit England just because I love all the music that comes from there. We do have a lot of sick music, to be fair. I think it was probably cooler back in the day. But that's not to say that we don't still have that. Yeah, a lot of music scenes were really cool when I was younger. But it depends on what you're into, really. But yeah, Um, Wales is better though. Just so you know. Cardiff's definitely like I love Cardiff these days, but it is a lot more hectic than when I was younger. That's my hometown. Um, because it is the capital city of Wales. At one point, people like I don't think people realize just how much like, I mean, obviously comparatively to other places, it's going to be different, but just how much England shits on Wales to this day, to the point where they have someone with a Welsh accent on the TV and they ham up their own accent, like just to sort of, I don't know, it's weird. It's like they don't talk like that normally. I've heard them talk normally, but it's like they sort of have to do like a cartoon version of a Welsh accent. Um, I don't know. It's weird. Like I say, it's a weird fucking country. Um, this divided kingdom of ours. I'm blizzed out on Cocodamol, so all is good. Love the NHS though. Really miss it. Yeah, that's the one thing that I think I am. If you could say that, use the word proud. I mean, of something that you literally have no hand in whatsoever. But yeah, I'm proud of the NHS in that way, where it's like it's cool that we have it, and the people do shit on the NHS from time to time, but I think it's just because like um you gotta realize that like like not everything can be like is like immediate. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want to get into a whole thing about healthcare again. It seems like I always go on to that, and then I inevitably talk about American healthcare systems, and I don't want that to be my thing. Ali, I've yelled at my dad for not moving our family to California or Georgia because I wanted to sound like them. That's funny. Well, yeah, it's all like based on where you're from at the end of the day. So, um, I think American accents are funny as well because I guess maybe because I've spoken to so many, so it's a bit different. But I'm pretty sure that most Brits probably think that people either talk like like the standard American accent or like hillbilly. That's what it's one of the two in their minds. You know what I mean? Just like I'm pretty sure a lot of Americans think that we're either Cockneys or like, oh, I say, old boy, oh, let's drink a Pimm's out in the garden and, salute the Queen somewhat, that kind of shit. So, yeah, it's a funny thing, accents. Matteo, how's it going? How's it going, mate? Hi guys, what's the topic? We were talking about basically, um, well, I guess if you could sum it up about like how much everyone hates England. um, but yeah, it's all been sparked off the back of obviously the Harry and Meghan interview with Oprah, and what we think of that really. So if you've got some thoughts to chuck in, then certainly do so, Matteo. Smudge, as someone that's 5'4", I'm jealous of your growth spurt. Yeah, a lot of people were. It was fucking good, man. What's 5'4" in the metric system? I'm not really sure. There is one, Matteo. Hey, Smudge. English folk music, especially Welsh folk music, is great. Yeah, no, there's some really cool festivals where you hear that kind of stuff. 160-ish centimeters, I think. Oh, for 5'4", measuring in centimeters. That's wild. Fair play. Um, Also, if you go to Aberystwyth, the Devil's Lettuce will find you. Okay, well, yeah, I have been to Devil's Lettuce. I have been to Aberystwyth, and yeah, it does. Well, that's the thing. It's like I wasn't just a stoner; I was like the stoner, so it always just found me eventually. Like so, yeah. Aberystwyth, man, that's a funny place. It's a wild place. If you know where to go. Smudge, hey Adele. Adele, not sure if I said hi to you earlier, Smudge. We said hi to each other, but it was a while ago. It was so many moons ago that we said hello. I shit on people trying to get rid of the NHS. Tanisha, laugh my ass off, lol. No, just the royal. Okay. Emmeline, no. Oh, I've forgotten how to fucking say it already. Where's the two? Am I lying? Emmeline. I'm from New York, but my accent is all over the place. Fucking New York, all over the place now. I get told I have Colombian Irish twang, which makes no sense. Well, it's like, yeah, it's yeah, that is a bit all over. That's the thing. It's like you got to keep them guessing at the end of the day. That's what I like doing with my accent anyway. Like no one guesses where I'm from. Because where I'm from, like everyone fucking talks like this. See, but like, oh, I tell you what, like I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna tell him exactly what I think, and I'm gonna tell him exactly what I know. You know, it's Welsh as fuck, man. Yeah, the sort of sort of Swansea-ish Welsh, and then yeah, you got. I mean, we got a different like accent every half an hour in the UK, so it's not easy for anyone really. Um, Lily, hey Smudge. AM, I love ABBA. Yeah, well, I've not been for years and years and years. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. There's so many places beginning with ABBA, Aberystwyth, Aberdare, um, Abertillery. Yeah, there's plenty. Yeah, quite a few. Imagine if that was the only three. I know there's more than that, but I sort of just lost the will to keep thinking of ABBAs. Tanisha, I'm from California. Hey man, but I've also spent time in the south, so I have a mixed accent. Yeah, yeah, I've obviously seen your videos, so I could tell there was a bit of a southern twang with yours, which I can only imagine because it is quite like a heavy accent when you think about it. So if you're around it all the time, that's naturally going to creep in. Um, like with me, I've lived in, if I put it in perspective, like just how many times I've moved around in general, I've lived in nearly, well, it's got to be like 23 to nearly 25 houses in total, and that's including like rentals and like, you know, proper houses, um real houses. No, but hang about, I just saw some egregious shit just here. Is Wales Scotland? No. No, Adele. That's okay, I don't blame you. No, Wales is not Scotland. They're both Celtic countries. But no, Wales is in Scotland. That's not as bad as one time I got asked by this American girl. No, it wasn't asked. I said I'm from Wales, and she goes, "Oh my god, I don't know anything about Denmark." I went, neither do I. You know what I mean? So I don't know where you got that from, but yeah, we're a small country. This is the thing, see. So it's like it's not it's not the most it's not well known. Let's just put it that way. It's not well known. We're the country that has a dragon on the flag. That's how you know it's us. Matteo, England is cool. You invented the Constitution, Black Sabbath, gravity, cardio, cardiocircular, cardiocirculatory system. All right, beers, all right, beers. Sort of a backhanded this, that, but whatever. Saved inland Europe a couple of times last century. Yeah, I mean, there's some all right points to it, isn't there? That's the thing. Why do I think it was Scotland? Probably because Scotland is the other country that's attached, like physically attached to England. Scotland's up here, England's here, Wales is here, Ireland is here, Northern Ireland is here. So there's a very technical way of me putting about the geography of the divided kingdom. But yeah, it's there's definitely like positive things. This is the thing. I think people go down a bit of a road sometimes with this, and I can understand. But like, for as much gnarly shit that any country has done, there's always going to be some like things that they've done which are like positive for the rest of the world, not necessarily born out of that gnarly shit that they've done, but it's just, I don't know, it's sort of like a really cantankerous way of saying, not everything is like bad, I guess, but that sort of sounds a bit like Weasley at the same time. So I'll leave that there. If you ever want to go again to Aberystwyth or the area, let me know. Newquay is great, so is Lampeter. Yeah, no, I've well, it's well, I'm not going anywhere at the moment. But I get what you mean, and I'll definitely keep that in mind. I was thinking, oh no, I haven't been for a while, but then I was like, I haven't been anywhere for a while. I've been in my fucking house for a year, man. I went to the bank today, and it was like a crazy novelty. It was seriously bright outside. It nearly fucked my eyes up. Um, oh, um, Emmeline. I thought the Iroquois, Native Americans invented the Constitution. Um, what Constitution? I thought you were talking about a band because you mentioned Black Sabbath in the next sentence. Constitution. I don't think we have to be specific on that, I guess, because obviously there's another famous constitution out there. um, you got the Magna Carta. Would you say Wales is worth visiting? Of course, yeah, Wales is amazing. I've got nothing but good things to say about Wales. I love Wales. Um, you know, again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's a because, like I said, no country is like an absolute utopia. But if you're talking about like just a place to visit, then yeah, I think it's amazing. Like Cardiff is awesome capital city, amazing places to eat, friendly fucking people. Um, yeah, what I like here's the difference between Cardiff and London for me is I can go up to someone in Cardiff and go, "Oh, mate, have you got the time? Have you got the time, mate?" And they'll do it, you know. Whereas in London, they're so shut up about people trying to steal their shit and are so like miserable in general. They don't even stop for people who've fallen over in the street because they think that the person's going to fucking mug them. So it's yeah, it's I say that's the difference. If I was going to say there's a major difference between the two, I think Welsh people are just generally friendlier. That's not to say there aren't unfriendly places, but you'd have to sort of go out of your way to go to them. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side as well, Swansea has all the beaches. Like I think the Gower was voted like it was like one of the first of Europe's. I can't remember the exact title, but it's um, like locations of outstanding natural beauty in Europe. It was like one of the first or the first, if I remember correctly. So, and that's like I live around there, so you know what I mean. It's I love it. I think it's brilliant. Um, I would love to go to Wales, 1,000%, Angelica. Just prepare for a lot of rain. If you time it right, though, you'll be all right. But but yeah, it does rain here. But I mean, also as well when it's hot, it's fucking hot, man. But that might be global warming. So Matteo to a foreigner is a bit tricky to remember UK parts. Yeah, I see what you mean. So yeah, I think with the Constitution, maybe you're thinking of the American Constitution there. Um, Adele, do you drink Guinness? There is it originally from there? No, Guinness is from Ireland, and the Guinness in Ireland is better than any Guinness anywhere in the rest of the world. And the reason why I know that is because I've been to the brewery, and before that I went there, I didn't like Guinness. And when I went there, I was like, "What is this shit that you're feeding the rest of us?" Because I hate Guinness anywhere else. And they're like, I just got like a wink and a smile sort of thing. But yeah, for some reason it tastes better there. I don't know why. I don't know why they give everyone else the slop. Probably because it's like I don't know. Probably just keeping it for themselves. Maybe the American Constitution, um, Iraq. Oh, I'm terrible. So bad with pronunciations. Iroquois, Iroquois tribe. Ali said that. I'll just point. The AM, if it ever comes back after the Rona is gone, I highly recommend the Lampeter Food Festival. Yeah, I've heard good things about that, to be fair. I'll check that out. Emmeline. Every time I get that right now, I'm going to be like, whoa, I got it right. It's true, you'll never stop learning. Emmeline, Adele Guinness is from Ireland. Tastes much better in Ireland, to be honest. Oh, people are way ahead of me here. Oh, bloody hell. Here we go. Oh, okay. I am mixed up. Matteo, I tried Guinness from the tin can, and it was delusional. Totally not sparkling. Was it delusional? Like ale, I think you're saying there. The CO2 has gone away from a tin can. Oh, from a tinny, right? Yeah, okay, right. I thought you meant like like a tin can like that. Right, I'm with you now, Matteo. Yeah, but anything from a can is tastes like shit, doesn't it, mate? Let's be fair. Okay, so Adele, thank you, Emmeline. AM really would like to visit Cardiff for more than a day. Yeah, Cardiff's the one. I love Cardiff. I haven't got enough good things to say about Cardiff. It's even awesome at Christmas time as well. Um, I'd say it's busier from when I was a kid, but most places are really. So that would be sort of like a silly thing for me to latch onto. Shanoa is back. Oh my god. Angelica or Angelica, I think so. No, I'm confused about that name too. AM project noted. I'll move to Germany for a year in a few months and want to visit much of Europe as I can. Yeah, well, this is the bloody annoying thing about Brexit, isn't it? Like, I think that now, whereas before we were in the European Union, we could travel around Europe as much as we wanted to, wherever we wanted to, sort of thing, obviously within reason. But, in term, now we've got to get fucking visas and all sorts of shit to go over there. So, and what's funny is what was really funny actually, and maybe you shouldn't laugh at this, but fuck them. You had like a bunch of people who voted for it. They came back to the UK, voted for it, who lived in Spain, who were UK citizens. They came back in to vote for the Brexit, and then went to go back over, and came back and then went to go back over when everything had kicked in. And it's not as easy as it was before. Like, you need paperwork, like serious paperwork. So, yeah, fuck 'em, man. That's what you get for just voting on the basis that you don't like people in the country that you no longer fucking live in. Cardiff has the cliffs. Are you talking about the cliffs of Dover? Love the Pembrokeshire beaches. Because if that's the case, if you're thinking of the cliffs of Dover, like the White Cliffs, that's in England. That's the southern point of England. Especially around Milford Haven, I have another migraine again. Well, I hope it wasn't me. Or was it the pizza? Bloody hell, what are you eating on your pizza? Ali, get real. Why did I say the whole thing then? I've been saying Ali up until then. What does hot mean to a Welshman? I lived in Florida. Oh, well, then, yeah, like, it's like fuck all to you then if you've lived in Florida. I went to Florida. Bear in mind, this was before I had my treatment. So it was back when I didn't used to sweat. And it was killing me off like 10 years ago. I was like, how do these people live like this? It's insane. Because it's is it humidity or there is no humidity? I can't remember either which one. Neither's great. So if it doesn't get that hot, then I ain't coming. Well, it gets hot, like, but it depends. Like, what it's insanely hot in Florida. Iroquois. Okay, Iroquois. Oh, Iroquois. Iroquois. Yes. Oh, my broken English, Matteo. Angelica and Angelica. Oh, I think I was getting it right. I think so. Angelica. Where this always happens. Like, if you're part of my streams, like on the reg, then you realize that my pronunciations are terrible. But that's because I try and say everything in my very basic British accent. So please don't fucking hate me too much for it. But I try my best. God loves a try is the phrase, isn't it? Where to Germany are you moving? Well, where to in Germany are you moving? Might have some recommendations for you. Okay. To a town near Hellebronn in Baden-Württemberg. I think I got that right. Yeah, I wanted to move back to the UK last year, but that wasn't possible. Jennifer, hey, Sloth. Oh, Jennifer, I haven't seen you in a little while. How's it going? How are you? How are you feeling today? What is happening? That's what we want to know. Adele, oh no, Shanoa. I know, I've never had migraines, so it must fucking suck, man. Shanoa, I don't know, but I had pepperoni, jalapenos, and olives. It doesn't seem like migraine making materials. Were you eating the pizza with like strobe lights or like a disco ball? Um, oh, bloody hell. Here we go. Jennifer's saying hi. Everyone's saying hello to Jennifer. Oh, definitely visit Heidelberg and Mannheim. Then my hometown, Frankfurt, isn't too far off as well. And you have some really good food. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Berlin. That's the one that I've wanted to go to because I've heard that it's quite like an artsy place and like really crazy, what do you call it? Architecture. You've got some really cool tattooists over there as well, tattoo artists. So yeah, I've always wanted to give it a visit. I've just not not no excuses. I just haven't. Shinoa, what are pepperoni? Because here in Italy they are peppers. Oh right, okay. Um, you're getting it right. Laugh my ass off, Angelica, not Angelica. It does sound like I'm sort of being a bit weird. Hey, Angelica. Like it's like fast forward or something in the middle or whatever. And if you drink alcohol, definitely try the local wine. This chat is kind of making me hungry now. We always get to food at some point, you know. We go from hating the monarchy to food in 0.3 seconds flat. AM project will do. I'm sure almost all of my money will be spent on food. You know what? The older I get, that's all I want to spend all my fucking money on, if I'm being honest. When I was younger, it was all raving and all of that. Now I just want food. Give me food. And because I don't want to be hangry. That's the other thing. I get very irritated if I'm hungry, man. Um, Shanoa, I was playing my game. Maybe that's what's causing it. I was playing it last time too. Could be. I mean, what game were you playing? It's kind of crazy. I'm good. Work was busy, was brave, and let me home drive home. Okay. I took a nap when got home alive, luckily, lol, fed my doggies, and now here. Cool. Well, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're spending time with us and chilling out. So, you know, the subject, I guess, was at the main part at the very beginning was, you know, thoughts on, you know, the interview with Meghan and Harry and Oprah. And because I think I'm the only Brit in the community who who dared go do a live stream, then yeah, it's you know, if you've got any questions, ask away because everyone's asked them already, so I don't mind. Um, I don't know everything though. I'm just going to put it that way. I'm by no means a spokesperson for the entire country. So, Shanoa, Matteo, Pepperoni is me. Jennifer, let my son drive home. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, okay. I thought I was short circuited for a second there. Food isn't too expensive depending on where you shop. Berlin is the best place in Germany. Yeah, that's what I've heard of really amazing things about it. I think the Autobahn would shit me up though, because I had a friend who she was on the Autobahn and her boss was driving and they got into a car accident and she had like a belly button piercing and her seatbelt like launched the belly button piercing through her like a bullet and it was like next to her fucking spine or some mad shit like that. And she was on like Good Morning and in all the magazines like okay because it was such a crazy thing that happened to her. Like she had a scar like that. It was insane. So yeah, the Autobahn sort of shits me up a bit when I think about it, but I'm sure it'd probably be okay if I wasn't with a mentalist, hopefully. Spicy salami. Was your pizza salty, Shanoa? Maybe that. Yeah, salt can sometimes do that. Actually, I'm ordering pizza now. Everyone's getting on the pizza. I'm loving to see it. Haha, no pepperoni in it. Italian is a vegetable. Oh, okay. I don't know why it's different in the US. Strange. Well, it's the same here in the UK, to be fair, mate. You pronounced Hellebron correctly. Oh, Heilbronn correctly. Heilbronn? No, I said it once, but now I'm crumbling. But Heidelberg. Okay, Heidelberg. Um, okay. That's what I always try to explain, Matteo. Americans don't seem to understand that. Well, because it's what's been sort of that's how it's been presented for years and years and years. So it's not like a new concept, I guess. I had no idea what kind of vegetable. Yeah, I'm curious now. What is the vegetable? Quinoa. Well, in Italian, pepperoni equals peppers. Oh, that makes sense. That's not as crazy as I thought it was going to be. Um, so yeah, it looks like I'm actually caught up for a change. um, yeah. Um, did I miss anyone out? Tell you what, this StreamYard seems to be all right. I might just use this every time instead of going via YouTube Direct. I did try to get Streamlabs, but my computer just couldn't hack it in the end. But yeah, I tell you what, everyone's talking about pizza. I really want a fucking pizza right now. I might even make a sneaky one after this is finished. I say make one, I mean bung one in the oven. But yeah, that's actually very neat. I need. Sorry. Americans, man, and Canadians when they say neat, it's so funny. I will now call it spicy meat rounds. Your pepperoni here are called salamino. So be careful if you want to order pizza in Italy. Haha. Do you know what, right? So when I was in Italy, I can't actually remember. I think I must have got told that because all I ate was like pizza and ice cream when I was over there. Um, Bear in mind, I was 12 at the time, and I went over as like a what do you call it? I went over as like it was like a school trip. It was like we were doing like football and rugby, and yeah, I was just like, this is amazing. I'm just gonna eat all of the pizza, and we went to this one restaurant, right? And they served us. I think it must have just been like a place where they feel like they can like mug off Brits or something like that. But we got in there and they were serving like Chicago town like pizzas, like the small. They say microwavable, but if you microwave those, you're a crazy person in my view. Put them in the oven, but yeah, they served us those, and we were like, "What in the fuck, dude?" Like, I've been eating like the best pizza that I've ever had in my life, and then we come here and they're just trying to give us a fucking Chicago town meat feast. What? That's insane. Yeah, so we ended up just bailing. Um, Tio, can I practice my Italian with you? I'm forgetting, slowly forgetting it. Yeah, well, this is the thing. We always have like a nice cultural exchange of sorts on my stream. I do like that. There's always some people who manage to relate through whatever, and I do enjoy that. Maybe it's because this isn't like a crazy confrontational stream like some streams out there. Yeah, I'm hungry for some pizza from the friendly neighborhood's pizzeria right now. That's everyone's on a pizza trip. That's what it is. That's what everyone's down to at the moment. Um, but yeah, has anyone got anything else they want to you want to bring up? Any topics? Anything you might want to ask me? I should just call these like Q&As or whatever. Zylie plays Blackheart. Oh, people usually do that when someone's died. It's like, is everything okay? Um, I'm okay. So I'm going to make a pizza toppings t-shirt. I'll just point at pictures for what I want when I'm in other countries. Yes, it's sort of the British way is just sort of point at something and be like, oh, I try. I see. I try, and then I have people looking at me like I just spoke Martian. You know what I mean? So I just figured that I'm not very good at it. In fact, I'm so bad at languages. I did German in school. I know AM project's going to be like, oh, but wait, I was so bad at it that when it came up to the GCSE, it was like 6 months beforehand. I guess they saw that it just wasn't going to work out for me like well at all, and they were like, "You don't have to do this one if you don't want to," which they didn't do for anyone else. They were like, "Well, you can just, you know, instead just use that time to like revise for other stuff." And I was like, sick, all right, because I'm bad at it. I know I'm bad at it. I was never good at it. So that's not for lack of trying. It's just that I'm just really shit at that kind of thing for some reason. I'm always very jealous of people who can like speak 6 different languages fluently, and they can just go from one to the other, and they can speak almost like the people who are from those places down to regions even. And then I'm just like, Guten Tag, mate. you know, it's not the best. I know. I feel ashamed for the culinary salt they did to 12-year-old sarcastic sloth. Yeah, well, a lot of people, like the people that I would like go to for like ice cream, I was like, you'll never guess what they tried to bloody serve me, mate. And they're like, what? Because I was just going to loads of different places, and I guess it was like a sort of, it wasn't like a resort, but it was like a place of like a square, I guess, of like all these different places that you could go to, and they were like, "Oh, which place did you go to?" And I said the place, and they went, "Oh no, they're always doing that to Brits." I was like, "Oh, thanks for that." Who? I'm not confrontational. Just saying. No, no. I mean, there's nothing confrontational about that confrontation. Just no. Yours is like the least for that, really, if I'm being totally honest. But there we go. I feel ashamed. Oh no, no, no! I've already read that. I'm an angel. Listen, right? If you felt that that was some kind of attack, then maybe you should like review what you do, because I didn't intend it that way, Xylee. Oh, a Chicago deep dish sounds amazing right now. Yeah, I'm thinking of having that now. Like after this. Um, Emmeline, was that right? Next time we should all eat pizza together over a stream. That's a good idea, actually. I would do that for sure. Um, yeah, yeah, we'll do that at some point. It'll be the pizza party, man. Oh, it's red for me. Uh, oh, it's red for me. Lol. It shows up black on StreamYard. Okay, I was gonna say who's died. I'm not dead, am I? You're not like giving me what was it like pirates used to have when they used to give to each other to mark them for death. Oh, the black spot, that was it. Yeah, you're not giving me the black spot I use highly. The black spot of death. Matteo, it always comes down to pizza somehow in the live stream. It does, and because we are a pizza friendly live stream, and I've accepted it. That's the way of this life, and we're living it in full. It's ricotta, a common cheese. Oh, it is ricotta, a common cheese to use in Italy. It's my favorite cheese, and it's so damn expensive. Nah, German GCSEs are bad from my experience with most people. If you don't learn a second language in early childhood, you're fucked in terms of learning language. Yeah, basically, I think that's basically the truth. Um, you have perfect German pronunciation, though, Sloth. Okay, I can live with that then. What other language can you speak? None. No, yeah, I've literally just said that then. Yeah, English. That's basically it. Um, I I don't know if I still know the Welsh national anthem actually, which is pretty heinous. It's one of those ones that when everyone's singing it, I sort of remember it kicks in, but I don't think I could just do it here and now. But I'm just terrible at that kind of stuff, and it wasn't like a lot of emphasis put on learning different languages when I was in school, because I was in Wales, and even Welsh was sort of like a almost like a I don't know, it's like nap time really, that particular class, because they just no one gave a fuck at all. And it's in later years when they had like uh, Welsh speaking schools, bilingual schools, Welsh and English, that they realized, oh, hang about, these kids who are learning like different languages from a really young age, their capacity for learning is much better than the majority, statistically speaking. And it's like, oh well, of course it is. You're taking on something that's completely alien to what you know, to your regular language. So it makes sense that that could then go on to other things. But I was already a lost case at that point. I'm a 90s kid. You know what I mean? Well, it's near 3 a.m. here. I salute you, lovely people, and good night. Me and my broken English go to bed. Don't ever apologize for your broken English, Matteo, but I understand if it being nearly 3 a.m. And yeah, I'll catch you next Monday as per usual, mate. Have a good one. Adele, it sure is Shanoa. Oh yeah, the cheese. Yeah, okay. My brother is from the Ukraine, and he has been trying for the last 6 years to teach me Russian and Ukrainian. No luck for me. Yeah, it's Russian is impossible. I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't imagine learning. like Mandarin or something like that, that is completely like I would not know where to start. I had like, people being like, "Hey, come over to China to teach English." I was like, "How can I teach English if I'm never going to get their language? That doesn't make any sense. That seems like a bit of a jip. Like, like I'm jipping them. You know what I mean?" So I feel like I wouldn't be like their money's worth if they paid for me to go over there. To be fair, AM. There are ways to learn different languages in adulthood, but you basically need to immerse yourself into said language. Ideally, live in a country where they speak it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not something that. Well, for one, if you want to be able to use stuff that like you actually use, if you know what I mean. Whereas, like, I remember in school they used to teach you a lot of things that you wouldn't say in everyday life. It's like really sort of asinine things, really. So, um, yeah, maybe I will before I'm old at one point. But it's hard, man. It's hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. But it doesn't mean, like I said, if I'm abroad, I do give it a try. I like at least to like try and say the things that I'm trying to ask for. Um, so yeah, sometimes it's hard. In Spain, if I want some mineral water, agua sin gas, por favor. Yeah, I'm bad at it. I'm bad at it all. Um, Shanoa, yes, AM. That's what my brother did when we adopted him. Shanoa, that's how my mum learned German. Yeah, so I think it's it makes perfect sense that if you're surrounded by it and you're able to speak on a regular basis, but yeah, it would just be to yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's just like much time has passed since I even tried. It would be like, oh fuck, man, like bloody hell, I don't know if I can do this. I'm going to Germany precisely to learn German because else it's impossible. Oh well, if you're saying that it's impossible, if unless you live in Germany, then I feel a bit more okay about my situation when I was a kid then, because yeah, I was yeah. I was awful. I think the only thing I really learned in uh, German class is I used to sit next to this girl called Jodie, and she could I remember one time she like turned around to me and she turned her eyelids inside out, and I didn't know people could do that before. And I was like, man, that's fucking crazy. That's probably the only thing I actually learned, like if I'm being like actually legit on myself, because with the rest of it, my head was just like a fucking sieve. Um, what helped her was the fact that my father only speaks broken English and that his aunt spoke no English at all. Oh wow, yeah, well, bloody hell, that's always going to be a little bit tricky. And also, as well, it's we use like the same words for different things as well. So unless you sort of fucking spend time around us, that's why I have to be very like if I type anything out on Twitter, I have to be very I just have to think it over again and again and again because I realize not everyone's going to understand it. If I spoke how I actually spoke to like my friends over here, then I don't think people would get a lot of what I was saying. To be fair, and that's not trying to be rude or anything. It's just that, from my experience, it can be a bit hard for people to pick up on that kind of shit if they're new to English in that kind of way, like the English language. My friend works for. Oh, let me be more specific how the Brits speak English. My friends work for like translator in diplomacy meetings for president and other politicians. He can speak, oh bloody hell, German, English, Bosnian, Russian, Spain, Portuguese, Chinese, and I think French as well. Well, don't I feel like a piece of shit? No, I'm joking. No, that's impressive. I'm only ever going to be somewhat jealous of someone who's got the capability to be able to do that. To be honest with you, it's amazing that people can actually do that. I don't know how you store that and just switch it on when you need to. It's kind of crazy, really. Sometimes he lost himself to when he speaks with us and starts to mix two languages. Okay, so at least they're sort of getting it a bit funky every now and again. AM, it's not an easy language. Oh, German. Okay. Duh, 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 duh. Shanoa, I have my phone brightness turned all the way down and still feel so bright. I'm going to go and try and sleep it off. Night, everyone. Yeah, you should definitely sleep it off if you're feeling under the weather and such. Absolutely. It's not, listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what a migraine feels like, but I know that if something's giving you a migraine, you should probably go lie down and chill and, maybe listen to some whale song. But yeah, otherwise, I'll probably catch you tomorrow or something, Shanoa. Have a good time. And I hope you feel better. Uh, Angelica, so did you learn how to turn your eyelids upside down? No, what? Are you kidding me, man? That's nuts. No, she totally freaked me out. And she taught me as well how to do the like that as well. So she taught me a load of like useless things, only one of which I could actually fucking take away and use in my everyday life. So, but no, I can't do that. I can only just about touch my eye, to be honest with you. But there we go. I think I'm not alone in that. AM, Mr. M, that happens to me all the time. I'm starting to learn Swedish now. Ooh, look at you and your fancy ways. No, so that is going to be interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I think learning anything new is always interesting and crazy, but yeah, absolutely that. Once you know a German language, it's not too bad learning another one. Same for Latin. Oof, Latin. I speak English, Spanish, and Italian. Oh well, everyone's showing off here tonight. No, I'm more than happy with that. Like at the end of the day, I know I'm the peculiar one for not knowing multiple languages. So yeah, um, it is what it is. um, English, Spanish, and Italian, but I know some basic Latin, Portuguese, Swedish, and German. Yeah, that's impressive too. Everyone's putting me well to shame. Um, AM, that happened to me as well when I did try to learn German. Now it gets better. Okay. Post-it notes also are a genius tool in language learning. Yeah, actually, no, that's a good point. I can imagine they absolutely would be in that instance because it's more. I think with me because I learn things visually. That's the thing. See, so if like someone just talks at me, I'm less likely to get it if unless they're like quite an animated person and then they try to be um like how do I say it? I'm either quite visual or you have to be quite uh, why do I can't, no, I'm not very good at English. I can't even think of the fucking word. Um, you have to, well, uh, basically, you have to paint a picture with your words. I guess is the way I would put it. Um, if someone just fucking says something at me, I'm not saying that like I'm just not going to understand what they're saying. But like, say for instance, so at points I've done like carpentry work in the past. Um, Someone can say something to me, be like, "Yeah, I want this, that, and the other." But if they just like drew a little fucking diagram, then obviously I get what they mean straight away. Sometimes people aren't very good at explaining what they want, and I find that it's a case of you. There's sort of like standard like ways of explaining things, and then there's like the perfect way of explaining things. So a good way of putting this would be: do you ever remember like if you were in school or uni or wherever, where you had a teacher who just sort of their method of teaching just spoke to you more than most. I think more often than not, if people think about it, it's because that person is able to, you know, put you exactly where it is that they're trying to describe. Do you know what I mean? Or they're able to, um, well, they can just transport you into whatever they're talking about. It's as opposed to barking instructions. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, did that make any sense? I think it did. I don't know. It happens to my mum as well, my mom as well. We talk sometimes, and she can only think of the word in Portuguese, Afrikaans, or German, but not in English. It's quite interesting, actually. Oi, Sloth, I'm moving to Stockholm, so I better learn a bit of Swedish. Yeah, well, yeah, if you're moving there, that's obviously the thing to do. Otherwise, that would be a little bit weird. I am very animated, which ends up annoying a lot of people. Yeah, no, you don't annoy anyone. Well, you never annoy me anyway. Like it's you're animated, and it's I'm more drawn to people who talk in that kind of fashion than I am Buzz Killington, who is just going to, you know, sort of just regurgitate things at you. Do you know what I mean? As a sort of like say the things that you wanna hear in that kind of fashion. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like you've always got to I don't know. It's a bit of a hard one to explain really. Just I guess it's having a part of having a personality too. Some people just don't have a personality, so whenever they're trying to explain or convey something to you, it doesn't come across because they didn't have the personality to begin with. So then they don't have the linguistic skills to be able to portray that to you in the way that they maybe think that they're putting across, but they're absolutely not putting it across that way. Whereas the animated people and the people who maybe take a little bit more time to consider what they're saying whilst painting a picture, um, are always gonna sort of, I think they have to explain it less times, if you know what I mean, than the person who just talks to you like they're a fucking robot. Hey, okay, post-it notes are the way for you then, Sloth. Yeah, well, um, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I even used a post-it note, to be quite frank. But yeah, it's if I was learning a language, I would imagine that would be the case. I'm sure that there's a lot of um, what do they call it? Is they like Rosetta Stone and stuff like that that you can use to learn. Um, but I'd have to pick a place first. I'd have to pick a place and go there, or at least like learn enough so I'm not just that typical Brit fucking up the language and pointing at shit. But yeah, yeah, one of those. Um, Mr. M, AM, why moving to Stockholm when now live I in best town in the world? Oh, wait, okay. When you now live in the best town in the world, Frankfurt, I am from Offenbach. Offenbach. I must move, not you. Okay. There's some German jokes going on here that obviously we're not privy to, um, but yeah, I think moving because of a job, if I'm not mistaken, if I saw Twitter correctly, if that's correct there, AM. Excuse me. But yeah, in sum up, Lily, my cantankerous and all over the place thing, um, you're not like annoying. You're not annoying to me, and anyone that you do annoy are not worth fucking knowing anyway. They're boring, boring people. So there. um, okay, I think I'm actually caught up for a change. I'll tell you what, wait there a sec. I've just got to fill up on some water. So if anyone else has any more questions or any other things they want to add, feel free. But I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Oh, less than. Stay away from Rosetta Stone, rather be the stereotypical Brit. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. um, I'll, I believe you. Emmeline, well, the party scene in Copenhagen is much better than Stockholm. It's that it's that long of a train ride. It's not that long of a train ride. Okay. Um, I've not heard about that. To be fair, the party scenes in Copenhagen or Stockholm, I think. Not sure. I'm not sure if I've had friends who've been to festivals. There's loads of festivals in Europe. That's the thing, man. Um, the AM, AM, Mr. M, you and me both know that Offenbach is Ausland already. Yeah, there's a lot of like in jokes here. I love your sloth pillow. Oh, thank you very much. Chanel is making me another sloth pillow, which is pretty cool. So I'll probably pop that by there when it's finished, and she sends it on over. Um, but yeah, I love sloths. Sloths are the way. I love them. Uh, I'd love to go to Costa Rica and spend time in that sloth orphanage that I've seen. That would be a cool thing to do. Um, but yeah, um, and yeah, starting a new job there. Emmeline, good to know. Yeah, it's yeah, it's a sort of my thing. It's the sloths. I don't know why. Yeah, since I was just young, I've always just thought they were. I just like the fact that they just do their own thing and like people don't get up in their shit and or they do, but like it's not supposed to, I guess. Um, and yeah, they're just pretty chilled out creatures, really. I try to emulate that somewhat. Doesn't always work out. Costa Rican here, lots of sloths indeed. Well, that's cool. Yeah, it's I can't remember the name of. I think it might just be called the Sloth Orphanage. But yeah, that's something that I've wanted to do. It's something that I wanted to do. I had a mate of mine who was like, "Yeah, we should definitely do that." But like they're notorious for saying yes, we should do that, and then just nothing materializes. So I think, fucking man, I'm just gonna go out on my own at some point. Um, I'll enjoy it more probably because that's the thing. It's you know, I don't know. When I was younger, I always wanted to go traveling, but like proper traveling, But I wasn't able to. I don't want to get into the whole thing about it, but yeah, basically because I got diagnosed with a thing where I need treatment every 2 weeks. You know, I couldn't go on that kind of adventure, as it were. But I'd still like to go to Costa Rica, even if it was like for a month or something like that. That would be cool. I'd really like that. Um, just to clarify, Frankfurt and Offenbach have uh, rivalry going on. Okay, so like Glasgow and Edinburgh, sort of thing, or Manchester and Liverpool, or most places in the UK hating some other part in the UK. Um, you're probably thinking of the Sloth Institute. Yes, I used to remember the name of the woman who ran it. I think it was like some American woman. And they did do a short program on it, like TV show. But yeah, my mind's a blank. I haven't looked at that kind of stuff in years. But I would love to. I think it just looks like a cool country in general. I'm pretty sure they've got some sick waves there too. So yeah, I think it would just be a cool adventure. Do you know what I mean? If you go to Costa Rica, you've got to go to Colombia too. Well, yeah, I'd have to go to. Well, that's the thing. It's like I would want to go to see as much as I can. Um, Maybe spend a week like hardcore in the Sloth Institute, helping out and stuff, and then just traveling. That would be cool. But I don't know actually. Would Colombia like I don't know. Is I don't know if I'd I don't know. A bit dangerous there. I think that Costa Rica's all right, but like yeah, obviously you see a lot of stuff on TV. I don't know if I'm just like getting things wrong there, but I don't know. Adele, good evening, everyone. Oh, if you're saying Tara Adele, then Tara, hope you have a lovely evening, and yeah, have a good time. I'm not very good at goodbyes, am I? Stay safe. I usually say, stay safe out there, Adele. AM, yeah, but ours is centuries old. Oh, between the rivalries. Okay, right, yeah. All right, well, one-upsmanship that is right there. um, but yeah, no, I would definitely like to go to Costa Rica. I would love to check out Colombia if it was like possible for me to do so. If you're a tourist in Colombia, you're fine. The police protect tourists way more than the locals. Oh, that sounds mean. In Dublin, no one is safe. Every man for himself. Well, I've been to Dublin. um, yeah, it's. I think I, it seems like a kind of place that I would like to go to. Colombia, definitely, because from what I've seen, I would just have to know where to go, if you know what I mean. Um, because I've not really looked too much into it. Obviously, you just hear about like uh, well, the obvious, I guess. I'm sort of trying to tiptoe around something here without saying it, but yeah, obviously there's something that comes from Colombia that the rest of the world likes putting up their nose. So yeah, it's yeah. I would have to know where to go and what were the like. Well, I'm just asking you actually, where are the cool places to go. You are officially invited to come to Costa Rica then. Cool. Thank you. I would definitely like to. I would definitely like to visit that part of the world because it's like I've been to a lot of places. You know, like Australia was cool, but it was basically just the UK abroad with like nicer weather and crazy animals. You know what I mean? And weird accent, but I say weird, but like I'm just messing. But it's all right, all right, mate. Um, but yeah, it was still sort of similar, and like America, even though obviously it's a different country, there's different ways. It's still sort of similar. So yeah, I would like to sort of go a bit off the beaten track, like and again in Europe, it's all still pretty similar. It's I've not been like I don't think I could say fully out of what you could say maybe was my comfort zone in that respect. So yeah, I mean, who knows what the fuck's going on in regards to traveling immediately after all of this Rona blows over, if it does. But yeah, I would love to. I would absolutely love to go somewhere, hang out with some sloths, go see some people in like and just see a different sort of way of things. That would be cool. Not go to a place where there's a fucking there's the Subway, there's the Mackie D's, there's the H&M, there's the it's all pretty similar. Young project, and at the end of the day, we both have the same problems: drugs, rent prices, RMW/DB ticket prices. Okay. I don't know what the last bit is, but yeah, most places have drugs and rent price problems. Yeah. Emmeline, Emmeline. Oh fuck, I'm so bad at this. And also, it doesn't help that this has gone past midnight when I do these, so I can like catch, sort of because like most of my audience are American. It's like 90 odd percent. So I do this at this time so I can like catch them mostly. But I'm fried today. But I am enjoying being up, obviously. But I'm just saying I'm not the most coherent at the moment. Colombia is the second most biodiverse country after Brazil, so the seasons are year round in all regions. For example, Bogota is eternal fall. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Medellin is eternal spring. Cartagena, eternal summer. That sounds really cool, actually. That sounds wild. Like I like the use of eternal as well. I like that. That sounds more appealing. Um, yeah, no. To be fair, I'd have to read up a bit more. Um, but that sounds very intriguing. Very intriguing. AM, Mr. M2, right? Lol, Frankfurt. I love how this back and forth of like German stuff is going on. Frankfurt is worse in terms of drugs, I would say. Okay. Emmeline, Emmeline. Um, so you, I'm terrible. So you can go to the coffee country, track the jungle, a few days to visit the Forbidden City, or just go to the nice beaches. The food is also super good. Yeah, I wonder if they get good waves there. Actually, I've not heard of that off the top of my head, but I'd have to look that up. Yeah, that'd be cool. And any place which got good food is a place I want to be. Quite frankly, um, yeah, it's yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of things I think that people are doing up leading up to the end of what could potentially be, you know, well, I mean, I'm speaking from a UK standpoint because we're obviously having a lot of the vaccinations. I've had my first vaccination. A lot of people I know are getting their vaccinations too. Um, so you sort of there seems to be in our minds, I guess, like a bit of a end in sight almost. But it's I think people are like starting to try and make their plans now. I'd like to at least like have something that I can think, yeah, that's something I want to do. That's somewhere I want to go. There's plenty of places I haven't been that I really want to go, to be honest with you. Um, but I'd like to go somewhere pretty out there first, to be honest. Um, we're turning everyone German. When I say out there, it's out there to me in terms of my everyday life because I know it's not out there for you because it's that's where you live at the end of the day or where you have lived. Um, we're turning everyone German. Yeah. Um, hmm. Not so much turning, I guess, but informing us. Like we said, I wouldn't make a good. I couldn't like sort of getting involved with the Germans because they'd be like, hmm, this guy doesn't speak our fucking language. You're not a good German, are you? No, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. You know what? I think as we're running up to the 2 hour mark, and in all honesty, I'm fried. I've had a really good time. I've had a really good stream, but I'm just knackered right now, and I can see that my ability to string sentences together wasn't exactly what it was at the very beginning of this stream. I might call it hung about. Not gonna lie, I'm bloody jealous of you lot in the UK. What are you jealous of? Like, I'd be intrigued to know. Germany, it's taking its bloody time. Oh, okay, right, okay, yeah, uh, the vaccine. Yeah, well, it seems to be different in different countries. I mean, I heard of someone in Canada. It's like the fall, like autumn for Brits who are listening. But yeah, the fall is when people who aren't on the like a well also as well you got to realize that the reason why I've got it earlier is because I have Fabry disease, so I'm in that risk category. My mum's got it too, and also last year she had part of her lung removed because she got lung cancer. She's fine now before people say anything or think anything, but so she's at risk of it. And my old man lives with us, and he's got Parkinson's. So there's you know there's as a household, I think it sort of made sense maybe in their minds for us to have ours done first. Wasn't I say first, but in the first category, and then of course there's older people, and then it's going to be like all the way down to younger people. But the only reason why I've had mine now is because of obviously the Fabry disease. So yeah, you know, I don't know if it's like ruthlessly efficient over here. I haven't kept up with that if I'm being totally honest, but I would say that yeah, like hopefully it's the thing that's sort of worrying me is that we're seeing like adverts for like holidays now, if you know what I mean. So it's that sort of concerns me because it sort of makes me think that people are just going to try and boost one like they did last summer immediately and not take any kind of precautions. And yeah, it's just I just don't want us to get stuck in this fucking cycle again and again where everything seems fine and there's we're in lockdown for literally since before Christmas. Literally since before Christmas. I've personally been in lockdown since around about this time. Yeah, about this time last year. In fact, literally a year, pretty much, give or take a few days. So I'm fucking sick of it. But at the end of the day, it's that thing of you've got to just not even just think about yourself. At the end of the day, it's you've got to think about the fact that yeah, you might get it, and it might not affect you in the same way that would affect someone who's maybe older. I think the thing that pissed me off when this all kicked off, and I'm not going to get into this in a big way, but I think if it affected young people like it affects older people now, then I think that the like everything would be done and it would have been done a lot quicker and people would have fucking just like abided by whatever rules they needed to abide by um for they would have abided a lot quicker and this hopefully would have been done somewhat in some kind of way by now as opposed to just going through the same fucking loops again and again. It also doesn't help that people just listen to any old twat on Facebook that comes out with mad tinfoil hat theories, but whatever. Um, but anyway, like I said, I think I will leave that there, seeing as we're at 5 past. Oh, hang on, I didn't read this. So am I a risk, but I won't get it any time soon. Okay, well that just sucks. Basically, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it works where you are at the moment. So, but that's shit. But it's there's no standard way of like dealing with this. That's the other thing. And I think that's what sort of allowed people to sort of like vulture in and fucking just say and do crazy things and get people worked up over things that just patently just if you use any kind of thinking skills for 2 seconds aren't true. Um, anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. So I hope you guys had a fun time. I can see that we're down to 4, so I imagine everyone's just fucked off by now because I'm just dribbling, which is totally fine. But yeah, hope everyone has a lovely evening wherever you are. Hope you stay safe as per usual. And I'll catch you next Monday. I'll probably try and do a videos. I think I'm going to do a video on the Thumin or Thumin. I'm not sure how you pronounce it exactly. Thumin, I think it is. It's like this art commentary channel that's been getting a lot of racist shit leveled at her for merely painting herself as an anime character who's white. But it's kind of weird. There's a lot of like weird things in the art community in general, that kind of thing that I never even knew about up until last week. And I might do another video as well. But otherwise, I'll do another stream next Monday. But as per usual, I'll try and do videos in the week. But I hope everything is. Oh, I'm just dribbling now. See you later, man. Bye.